What the fuck's up? Hello, who are you and where are you from? I've just actually remembered that as well. Everyone's coming in. A couple of cool things to talk about. Obviously, it's just the morning recap again. Made 540. What up, brother? What up, brother? I'll just show you guys a couple of things and then we'll get into the trades. There's only one trade, so I guess I can do a bit of a market analysis. I'll just give it like, you guys are coming in, so I'll just give it like another 30 seconds for people to come in, because it's not really easy for people to like obviously miss the start. What up, Drizzle? If you miss the start, you don't really know what's going on. So just give another 30 seconds because people are coming in on Twitter and on YouTube. It's getting to a right, and I'm pleased that the viewership's actually, like, when I first did it, it was like 20 people and then 25, and now hopefully we'll pop towards the 30s and 50s as people start to see that I'm on here every day. 500 plus days, so we'll break that down. I just want to show you guys a couple of cool things as well. So this was pretty cool. I just put a nice little tweet out. A lot of effort went into the first 30K profits. I know I can do it now, though. Dream is to hit 100. So hit 30K the other day, 30K in profits. And bearing in mind, I was down fucking 18. It's good to be like up nearly 50K. From down 18 to 32 will be 50K. So that's cool. And it was nice of Tim Sykes as well. Tim Sykes, a lot of comments. Tim Sykes jumped on it and he retweeted it as well. Can't remember where, but Tim Sykes he chatted to us just to say well done, sent us an email to say well done. So that was pretty nice. I'll just quickly show you guys the Excel and then we'll jump in. So I'm pretty happy with the trading, honestly. I mean, I think I made 4,500 last month, so not a lot. So I'm up to 4,000 we're like halfway through the month, coming up to the 15th of the month. So to be up $4,000, I mean, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, because these days, like these $2,000 days make a big difference. So like, you only need another 1,000 day on the 15th or the 16th, and I'm onto $5,000. And if I hit $5,000 halfway through the month, all going well, because there's not many red days. I've only had 2, so I'm trading pretty well and cutting losses well. If I can just get to around $5,000, 15th, 16th, 17th, maybe by the end of this week, puts us in good stead to repeat that $10,000 month again, and then obviously try and get that $15,000 month again. And even if I could just get back to 10, that's like a good base to be like, Aries, let's try and like get some consistency around regular, consistent $10,000 months. No swings, no emotions, just stick in and get there. But that's just me on the psychological front. Yeah, enough hitting about $10,000 this month because I'm trading. I mean, super small. The real lesson today is, I mean, INV. I know the market's crazy. I know it's risky. So with INV, I just thought I was kind of doing a couple of different things at once. So I thought, I can't really read which way this is going to go because it's not much short history. There's not much daily volume. For all intents and purposes, it's a breakout above the 511 region. But I was just thinking, like, I'll tell you what, it's a long or a short. It's a bit of a coin flip. So let's just play it small either way. 250 shares. So I have kind of a rule of not shorting pre-market, so unless it's like after 9. Broke the rule a bit. I was like, when I dropped under view, I was like, shit, this looks like it can just fade all day because the float's 60 million. It's not much institutional investors owned. It's like, and it's like 20% or something like that is owned by institutions and ownership. So it is legit. It's not like WIMI, like WIMI. It looks like a big float, but it's a fucking 4 million float when you look at the institutional ownership and the actual. Because what happened with WIMI is, looks like a big float, but it's really heavily owned, but on the inside by the company. So everyone thinks, I'm safe, it's a big float. But after hours, institutionally owned, they'll just buy more of the stock up and they'll squeeze everyone because they already hold the stock anyway. But IMB's not like that. It's actually quite a heavy float, quite a thick traded float. So when it dropped under VWAP in the 735s, I took a stab at it, lost, popped back up, just covered at VWAP because I've got a real rule against shorting pre-market. I'm just not doing it anymore. It's too risky. If I do it, it's tiny size and I'm not adding the positions. And I've not took any big losses pre-market in a while. I just don't want to because I see it getting tricky in this market. And a lot of these stocks, it's like they're walking up on air pre-market. So then when it broke the second time, I got back in around the 750s, 100 shares, fell apart. And I covered all my position here. Pre-markets, I was up like 250 or something. And then on the pop, added 100. On the next pop, added 150, risking off VWAP. I was pretty lucky to short right on VWAP and get VWAP. There's a lot of moments and there's a lot of tricky, sticky situations where you can think high float. There's 650,000 in the first minute, which is nothing these days in terms of volume. Absolutely nothing. I mean, just to play it, I'll tell you what, the best way to do it is play it minute by minute. So market opens, washes on 650,000. You're like, weak, should just wash all day. Wash pre-market, wash at the open. And a common trick that I would make is thinking, and then you get this wick where it's getting sold into, and you're like, look, 600,000 shares bearish. Tries to pop, you get the spike on the opening candle, bearish, opposite to a hammer candle. Then it looks like it's going to break down on around the 570s, bearish. But I'm like, where am I going to risk off? What am I going to risk off? High day? Potentially, but this stock's down a fuckload, so I'm not really going to get too much value by chasing it down. So I didn't. I just thought if I miss, I miss, because market makers, institutions, companies, they can kind of manipulate and play tricks and let the volume look light, but then push it in, which and a lot of the time you think you're trading against other retailers, but you're not. You're trading against institutions, trading against hedge funds, you're trading against stock companies that own this stock and are manipulating it or paying someone to manipulate it. So it's not retail versus retail. It's not retailer versus retail. It's not short versus long. It's to a degree it is, but it's more shorts versus it's more retail versus the world. So then obviously you get this hammer candle, gets bought back up, pops back up, little short, wait patiently, get the double top, and then from there we got the halt of the downside, and I'm basically just covering it to dips. Added a little bit on the double top. When it broke this trend, we had this little trend up, broke the trend, shorted the double top, and took it back down. I'm sorry I don't have it's with me Trade Zero account, so I'll take a picture of the trade, but I don't have anything else. Let's just check. Yeah, you guys are split. I held 100 shares down to the 460s. I covered in this dip, yeah. So I couldn't. I'm trying to let 100 shares ride the rest of the day, or I just couldn't hold any longer. Honestly, it's just not strong enough powered. But good day. Read it well. What I'm most proud of is this morning action. I'm really proud of the fact that I took a nice short under VWAP and covered into the wash, but I'm more proud of taking these shorts into this kind of double top, because you've got to remember this is new higher day at the open from the 609s. So this is like new higher day on volume. Forget the pre-market volume. Think about what it opened at and the level. That's your level of resistance for me. Broke it. And that's a higher low as well. So quite scary, but ultimately it all worked out quite fine. And the main lesson that I just want to reinforce is, if I was short this from basically from around the 7s, 200 shares-ish, so a $1,400 position, I basically took it short and covering from the 730s, and my last cover was in the 460s, which is around 40%. And if you think I invested $1,400-ish in this position, if for whatever reason this stock does something, rips, halts, because the market's insane and I'm down 100%, it'll never happen. Like, I'd have to fucking fall asleep in a deep coma, fall into hypnosis, the devil tells us to throw my laptop off the balcony, then fucking I have to pick up the pieces, fragment it all together with screwdrivers when I borrow them off my mate, and then load my laptop back up to find I'm 100% down. It would never happen, but the market's crazy, so you've got to be careful right now. So if I invest $1,400 and for whatever reason I'm 100% down on the position, I lose $1,400. So it's better to just play safe. Take these big percentages. I took 40% on this. Take these big percentages with smaller size because the volatility is there because the buyers and the volume and the market's there. So it's about really like smaller size for shit to go wrong, and then taking the big positions that the volume in the market and the volatility is offering. Because like I say, it was a $1,400 investment. I took $550 profit, which is about 30 to 40%. I was in and out a bit, so you can obviously understand that. Maybe I've lost some of the percentages down the way, like not being precisely in and out at the tops and bottoms. But yeah, 30 to 40% gain is pretty cool. But let's just, and yeah, this has probably got more downside, but some of the other cool, I mean, some of the other trades, if you just have a quick look at what else is going on. INMB, similar to whatever I just traded IMV. I don't know if they're both biotech related or what, but nice breakout. We don't know if it'll hold or come down yet. It's like a jigsaw pattern of like washing and coming back up. A couple of halts on the way. It looks like it's probably done now. I'd be surprised if this came all the way back up. It's probably somewhat of a good short for a gap down, but I haven't really checked the fundamentals and the filings to really know. Or the news for that matter, or the cash balance statement, or the dilution or anything. PRCP, yeah, looks like again probably a first red day. It seems like biotechs are all running today, are they? It's another. Oh no, this is a hardware company. PRCP, nice grind back after the initial wash. Looks like it's coming. It's mid range. I can't really trade any of that. Wriggle, we'll have a quick look at, but there's nothing really too interesting to analyze. Again, just gap up. A lot of them giving it back. Like Wriggle's just popping back up, but I mean, these kind of stocks look like it'll just close around the 375s and fucking hover around where they're up. Don't see much volatility. The only cool ones are obviously alt is fucking really squeezing. The fact that you had this, what looked like this, not first red day, but first red candle, and it gapped up and squeezed today is really nice price action. You've obviously got all the shorts underwater here, and I wouldn't be surprised if you had another green day into the 40s here before you had a red day, and maybe you can go even higher after that. I mean, this market's crazy. Boxel, I remember being a good short. Boxel, you've got to be careful with these 52-week high stocks. But this chart is just terrible. Like the big wick, and then it ran 2 days prior, and it's running 2 days again. And like this wick is like seriously like longs don't want this and shorts do. So unless there release some sort of news, you've missed this though. I mean, I was at work, so I couldn't trade this. I traded one stock because I was at work, but you've got this perfect trend up, and when the trend snaps, not really much room to buy. Obviously, you've got maybe a buy here or a buy here, but there's not too much room to buy. But I mean, still, I don't think you're chasing it down when it's up so much, and then you shorten the first bounce. I mean, 240 average, you're up 20% straight away. And I'd use that 20% to swing it and hope to get somewhere down the 150s to try and get like 60, 70%. So Boxel's really interesting. Alt's really interesting. And the only other one was, what was it, VNRX or something? Is it? Can't see. There was one more that looked like a decent short. Des, it's just a name that I know. Des, first green day, but fucking, it's a breakout, like, but no one trusts this stock because it's so shit. I don't know if that's a reverse split or not. I don't really see anything else, honestly, worth looking at. I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. We've kept it under 15. Peace and have a good day.